Hi everyone, once again a warm welcome to our English online classroom. So it's me Arun once again with our poem The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost. Before entering to the poem, let me share a quote with you which I have heard in the morning and I felt it is really good, so I felt like sharing this quote with you. The quote is like this: a pessimist sees difficulties in every opportunities. An optimist sees opportunities in every difficulties. How is it? A pessimist sees difficulties in every opportunities. An optimist sees opportunities in every difficulties. So what does it mean, What is meant by pessimist? Pessimist is a person who always thinks negatively, means nothing is going to be nice. Such a thought who has, that person is called a pessimist. And an optimist means a person always think positively, everything will be fine. Such a thought who has, that person we can call as optimist. So a pessimist always see difficulties in every opportunities. When he gets an opportunity, he finds some difficulties in it. But an optimist, when an optimist sees some difficulties, he will find an opportunity in it. Because he is a person always think positively and he attempt everything positively, and a pessimist is always attempting all the things negatively. So that is the difference, an optimist and a pessimist. So please be an optimist and think positively and do everything positively and believe positive, and you will get the positive. So let me wish you a beautiful day, and let us move to our poem The Road Not Taken. I have already given you an introduction to the poem, and moreover in our last Google Classroom we discussed the first two stanzas of this poem also, and I hope that it is clear. Even though, let me recall you, let me help you to recall the first two stanzas once again. So please take your textbook, page number 15. The Road Not Taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Do you remember the meaning? So two roads, when the story starts, when our poem starts, our main character of this poem is Robert Frost. He is standing in a woods. Woods means a small forest. And there are two roads diverged in a yellow wood. He is standing in a yellow wood. Yellow wood, do you remember? I have already told you. Yellowish colored leaves are there. It means it is an autumn season. Okay. The leaves are getting ready to fall down, autumn season, so that's why in a yellow color. So in the yellow woods he was just standing there, and in front of him there are two roads diverged into two different directions. And I am sorry, I feel sorry, I could not travel both, because I am one person, I am a single person, so I feel sorry that I cannot travel into both sides, both the roads. And be one traveler long I stood. And be one traveler long I stood. I stood there for a long time, and I looked down one as far as I could. So I selected one road. I looked one road as far as I could. Okay, so I looked to the road, I tried to find the end of that road. So as far as I could, I looked the road. But is it possible to see the end of the road by standing in the same place? Impossible. The last line, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Undergrowth, I told you, some small plants, bushes, shrubs, which will be there under the trees. So these small plants covered the way in a bend. So listen, when our poem starts, Robert Frost was standing in a yellow woods, means it's an autumn season, and he is looking to the two roads which is diverged in front of him into two different directions. And he felt sorry because as a person, I cannot travel them both at the same time. Is it possible for you? Impossible it is. And he stood there for a long time and he selected, means he started observing a road, first one, and he looked it as far as he could. But he couldn't see the end of the road because in a bend it is filled with, covered with some small plants. So he couldn't see the end of the road. Let us move to the second stanza. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted fair. Though, as for that, the passing there had warned them really about the same. What he said, then took the other one. Then I selected the other one. So in the first stanza we saw he observed the first road, and in the second stanza he starting to observe the second road. And I took the other just as fair, means it is also beautiful, it is also good like the previous road, the other road, and having perhaps the better claim. Perhaps, maybe it is a better claim. Better claim means maybe it is a better option. Maybe, we can't tell. And because it was grassy and wanted wear, you know why he says it is a better option, this road is a better option? Because it was grassy. The road is filled with grass. What is meant by a road or a way, a route is filled with grass means what? Because very less people have traveled through that road. So that is called filled with grass. Means not much people used the road. He felt so. So he says, and having perhaps a better option because it was grassy and wanted wear. Wanted wear means not being used. Not being used by others. That's it. Though, as for that, the passing there. But at the first sight we feel like this road is different and nobody used this road. But when we are moving into it, had warned them really about the same. Had warned means it is used. It is used by the people really about the same. So at the first sight we feel like this road is not used by many people, but at the same time when we pass through the road we will understand this road also used by the people as the next road. So the second stanza says he selected the second road and he started observing the second road, and he feels at the first time that this is a better option. If I select this road, it is a better option because only a few people used it, or not much people used the road. What is the reason he says so? Because it is filled with grass. But when he started passing through, when he continued observing the road, he understood that this is also used like the other one. Means the both roads are same, he felt. See, can you imagine, can you think, let me check your knowledge. What do you think, why he felt that a road which is not used by many people is the better option? Why he says so? See, some people are there in this world who do not love to do all the things like others. See, those people we can call as adventurous people. They are ready to take adventure, risk. Such people are there in our world, and they have the chance, they have more chance to reach in higher positions in their life. They always need a change. They wish us to do something which is very difficult for the common people. So our writer Robert Frost is such a person who is interested to select the road or the way or the life which is not used by others commonly. So that is what the two stanzas says. So the conclusion is the two roads are almost same. So again the confusion, which is the best? Which road can I select? Say one more thing. Can you say the rhyming scheme? The rhyming scheme of all the stanzas. So please take the first stanza. The ending word of the first line is would. So would, we can put it as a, would, d sound, okay. And second line, last word is both, another sound, so we can write it as b, d, third. Then third one, stood, again d sound, so it is a once again. Then could, again d sound, once again a. Then at last growth, third sound is here, this is what. So the rhyming scheme is A, B, A, B. This is the rhyming scheme of this poem. Okay, so I hope it is clear, and you may think at last which way he might have selected, isn't it? So let us see. Let's move to the third stanza. Here we will know which way he selected and what happened to his life and what he thinks at the present time. So all the questions are there. Let us see the answers. Third stanza. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the fast for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. What it means? And both that morning equally lay. So if you are watching the roads in the morning, and both that morning equally lay, the both roads are laying equally in the morning. It is filled with the grass, nobody used to be field. So all the mornings, the both ways are look same. They look same. And in leaves, no steps had trodden black. Trodden black means walked over. Trodden black means walked over, means none of the people have walked through the road. We feel so when we see the road, two roads in the morning. When we observe the two roads in the morning, all the roads were covered, both roads were covered with leaves, and feel like no step had trodden black. No step means none of the people have stepped, means walked through this road. That is what we feel in the morning. Then, oh, I kept the fast for another day. So he selected, anyway, I am going to select the second road, which is not used by many people, I felt in the beginning. So I selected second road. And one more question. Oh, I kept the fast for another day. Can you see an exclamatory sign? Is it possible for me to select the another road for another day? Now anyway I am going to travel through this road. So is it possible to go through the next door another day? After many years, after many days, I am coming back and going and selecting the next road. Is it possible? Yet knowing how way leads on to way. This is fact. If you are try, so he selected the second road, and when he started his journey through the second road, knowing how many leads on to way. If you are traveling through one way, that way may differ into different ways, isn't it? For example, if there are two words diverged into two directions, imagine, and you selected this road and you are traveling through this road, but sometimes the road will diverge into different ways. So we don't know, we cannot tell which will be the end of that road. So that is what he is saying. If I decide that I can select the next road next day, but sometimes it is not possible. Why? Knowing how way leads on to way. This road may lead, those road may diverge into different other roads. Maybe I cannot come back. I doubted if I should ever come back. Yeah, it is clear. So I doubt, I'm afraid sometimes I cannot come back, because I told you the road may diverge into different other ways. So sometimes I cannot come back. Isn't it? Yeah. So the third stanza, he says that in the morning, if we look the two roads, it looks same, almost same, because it is covered with the grass and leaves and no footsteps are there. It means nobody used to be feel. So if I select the second road and I let the other road for another day, maybe it is not possible, because one road may diverge again into different other roads. So sometimes I cannot come back. So that is what he explained in this third stanza. So life is like this sometimes. When we have a chance to select an option in your life, especially when you are facing some challenges in your life, you may have two options. Many people will tell you to select this option and many people will be there in this side to select the next option. So sometimes you will be confused. And if you select one option and you are continuing your life, sometimes you cannot come back, because that life may diverge into different other ways. So what the poem says to you, no, you should be able, you should be brilliant, you should be capable of selecting the best option for your life. Anyway, he selected the second road and he started his journey, and what happened to his life, let us see in the last stanza. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the differences. What happened, you know? I shall be telling this with a sigh. What do you mean by sigh? I shall be telling this. I shall be telling means in the future, I shall be telling about this selection of road with a sigh. What is sigh? That is called sigh, a long breath. Maybe just when you are tired, maybe when you are released with the fear, when you are satisfied maybe. So somehow you feel like doing a sigh. So with a sigh you will be telling what? Somewhere ages and ages hence. When you will be telling him ages and ages means after years and years. Maybe after years and years you will be identifying, you will be realizing about your decision. Then what? Somewhere ages and ages hence. So two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by. So maybe after years and years, I will be saying to others, there were two roads diverged into two ways in front of me, and I selected the one which is not used by the common people, not used by everybody. I may tell like that, maybe after many years. And that has made all the differences, and my selection made all the differences in my life, which made all the changes in my life. It means maybe it will be a positive, it will be the correct option, correct selection. So he is saying in the last answer that I shall be telling this with a sigh. It was nice. Or maybe with the desperation he will be saying, it was not right. Anyway, he told, I shall be telling this a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence. It means after a long years I will be saying this sentence with a sigh. Which is the sentence, you know? I took two roads diverged in front of me in the yellow wood, and I took the one less travelled by. And I selected the one which is not travelled by many people, and that has made all the differences. Maybe positive, maybe negative, but all the differences are created by my selection of that road. So the last stanza, he gives us a conclusion for this poem, and he is saying that maybe after long years, maybe years and years after, with a sigh, I will be telling what, you know, I'll be telling that two roads diverged into different directions. And I took the one which is not selected by a common people, and it made all the changes. Because we are sure that certainly your life will change. It should change actually. Changes are compulsory in everyone's life. It is a fact. Because everything is under the control of the God that we know. So all that directions are the result of your selections. Actually, when we have some negative experiences in our life, when we have some failures in our life, when we have some problems which is not possible to solve, so we always use one word for a satisfaction for ourselves. That word is fate. When you have some problems, when you are facing some problems, when you have some negatives, when you have some failures, you always say, that is my fate. What can I do? That is my fate. You are blaming your negatives on fate. It is my fate, my destiny. I was helpless, but it is absolutely wrong. Your fate is created by yourself. You are responsible for your fate, your life. What all the changes, what all the things are happening there in your life, the one and only responsible person is you yourself. So be vigilant, be brilliant, be wise when selecting some important decisions and opinions in your life. And a small part is there, luck, that is fact. Those things are under the control of the Almighty God itself. For example, if you are going to write an exam, you didn't study anything, you were playing for the whole week and you didn't even touch your book, simply going to school and receiving the question paper. When you read the question paper, oh my God, I don't have any touch with any of the questions. And you wrote something here and there and you gave the answer sheet back to the teacher. She verified and gave you mark 2 out of 80. You have no right to tell it is my fate. I have failed in this exam. It is my fate. You have no right to tell that. Because you are responsible for your failure, because you didn't learn anything. You didn't read the book. You didn't study well for the exam. You didn't prepare for the exam. But at the same time, you studied everything. Means each and everything in your textbook and you're perfectly ready for the exam. But unfortunately, in the morning when you got up, you are having or suffering from viral fever, imagine, or a vomiting or some other health issues. Or you couldn't reach the school on time because of some other reasons. So here there is a role for the fate or for the luck. So it is up to the God. So do your duty well, then pray to God. Then everything will be a great success. See, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 stanzas and all the 4 stanzas having the same rhyme scheme, A, B, B. That's it. So what you want to do is read the poem nicely more than many times and try to understand the meanings in between the lines. The poem doesn't mean about the real road under or in a forest. But the poem means about the 2 options, 2 directions in your life or about your decisions in your life. So please be aware about such things. Read the poem nicely and try to understand the real meaning in between the lines. And let me give you a small activity. Write a small paragraph about, write the chapter's name, Road Not Taken, and Robert Frost, and write a few lines about the best decision you have ever taken in your life and the worst decision you have ever taken in your life. It means in the first 4 lines you can write about the decision which made you which you have taken and which gave you a nice response. At the same time, other 4 lines, a decision which was absolutely wrong and got many negative results. So write a small paragraph about such things. That's all for today. Wish you a nice day. Thank you. Bye.